guys, it's Mark
and Ray.
How you doing? It's Thursday night. Ray's here. He's had a early start to scout, so he thought he'd come and join me in the loft. We're just
It's either
chuckling.
that or do Beavers downstairs.
No, we're just chuckling at the noise that's coming from down the Beavers. It's mental. Yeah, I'm glad. Well, we're on PM. We can still hear it every time they open the door. Right, guys, let's see who's in the house tonight. Let's just say hello wherever you're scouting from tonight. I'll try not to move too much because the autofocus. Yeah, let's know where you're scouting from, and then we're going to talk about scouts, what we're doing tonight. I'm having a night off time. I'm doing a whole lot of GSL admin stuff. Isn't it very exciting? Leo's in the house. Hey, Leo, tuning in from Scotland. Harold. No, it's the evening, Harold. It is. Yeah, it's
6:30.
Yeah, 25 to 7. Blue Ninja Madness. Ian, it's. Would you describe it as madness? I don't know what, but the Beaver leader is just Beaver.
I don't know. Like my wife, she used to have them all, like because that was her an early years diploma or something she did.
Yeah.
She was able to manage them great, and I was just like, okay, they're coming in, they're good, they're cool, they're calm. And then like you go to other lodges, patrols, dens, and it's just crazy madness.
No, it's not that. Yeah, Ontario, half there. Half one here. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. David, tuning in from Suffolk. How you doing? Good evening, my friend. Actually, in fact, just talking about Beavers, I was on the phone just before here. I was on the phone to one of the DCs that we have a team where we are, and we're talking about squirrels. And are we going to open squirrels in this group? And I was like, you know what? No, it's a clear no. I can't even do Beavers. So then, whoever does squirrels, like, give them credit because.
I mean,
Beavers is enough.
The project sectioning opening has not been too great recently, so yeah, you'd just be another focus study.
Dan, how you doing, my friend? Loving your videos and your Instagram stuff. I've been watching. That's cool. Yeah, no squirrels. No, I get it. No. Beavers is mad enough. No.
See, Beavers I found were fine. It was just the Cubs because they're just that little bit older, a little bit louder before they quieten down again as they get into scouts and explorers.
Yeah, and they're trying to find themselves. They're a bit godly, aren't they? I'd like to answer back. Kathy tuning in from Swindon. I've never been to Swindon.
Have you not?
I've never been to Swindon.
So I only have because my mum's friend moved to Swindon, and as we were coming back from the family in sort of Wiltshire way, we diverted in.
Yeah, no. Swindon, I've not been there. Haven't suggested here in Canada. What, for squirrels? Did not have squirrels or anything in Canada. Okay.
Yeah, but they got a cool chief scout like the Man Tracker Cowboy.
They do. Yeah, we've just been talking about the new chief scout here in the UK. Hi, Mr. Start. John Hayden, my friend. Bush Scout.
Wales.
Cool. You haven't missed anything. We're just discussing the level of noise in the Beavers tonight, which always makes me laugh.
Mind you, it is like their first or second week back after summer.
And all very excited. They're doing recycling tonight. They're making some recycling monster, I think, something like that. Blue Ninjas all the way far better than the Green Goblins.
Yeah.
Really? Is Cubs known as the Green Goblins?
I'm just assuming they meant Green Goblins, but like, yeah.
As Cubs, yeah. In Canada, Beavers are the youngest here, yeah. So, yeah, the Squirrels only kick-started, was it?
Just before, like maybe a year before lockdown, so it's sort of still going to be kinks and stuff to iron out.
And they're talking about that that squirrels in the future will just be in your regular section. Like every group will have squirrels, beavers, cubs, scouts, explorers.
Yay!
Where they're going to get that from? Don't know. Beaver starts at 5 here. I think it's 6 in the UK. So, Ian, it varies. I know there was a whole other project. One of the projects I was involved with about setting up squirrels was about times, and like I don't know what it's like in Canada, but a lot of scout groups in UK hire their halls up, particularly to the nurseries. So, and nurseries here tend to stay from kind of 6 till 6:30ish.
Yeah, I used to turn up to my old group, and they'd still be in there, and
kind of fight.
You don't know whether you can go in and set up, or whether you got to wait for them to finish because they've paid for the hall.
Yeah,
but like their time has passed.
And
it gets a bit awkward. And
so there was a discussion about doing squirrels on a that was loud on a Saturday morning, and then there was a whole debate about leaders giving up their weekends. Will leaders give up weekends? I don't know. It was a big thing.
See, I didn't mind giving up my weekends more when I didn't work in retail,
retail.
where I work weekends, and
Yeah. Meant age of youth instead of times. Well, it was a good discussion. So yeah. No, the Beavers, Squirrels is 4.5, I think it is. Can't remember the official stuff. Second Runcton home on what? That's a mouthful. Wallington Scout Group in
it's almost
Royal
like that
Norfolk.
group from Wales that you
I
can
go,
buy
go, go, go.
that name tape for.
Yeah, it goes
sort
all
of
the way
say-
around.
Yeah,
That is a good one. Second Runcton home and Watlington Scout Group in Royal Norfolk. That is a mouthful. Andy, thank you for tuning in. Half past, exactly. Aidan, hey ho from Northumberland. Aidan. And we've got in the interest of tea in the Isle of Sheppey. Nice. I've just finished my tea. Hinting at Ray. Looking forward to the first Cub camp this week. Oh, nice. We were just talking about Scout camp actually, and how we're going to combine Scout camp with Cubs, because the new Cub leader, doesn't have nights away, so he's going to tag along with us. So we've now got to change our campsite, because the campsite that I really love, it's
it's
really
when you've got like a small group. It is a real nice campsite.
It's a nice campsite. It's just us on the
facilities are a
side.
bit dated, but like the character makes up for it.
It's good. But now we've got the Cubs, we're going to have to look elsewhere. So we're probably going to go to a campsite that you guys know called Packard. So we're going to probably go there. And then we're going to debate about, is it going to be an activity camp? Is it going to be back to basics? That was the vlog of the
going to
weekend.
be with the Cubs' first camp. It's always worth doing activities.
Yeah, we'll find out. Looking forward to joining Local Explorer Group for a 3-day exhibition in November. Oh, nice one, Leo. That's good. Leo, actually, I was at Gilwa reunion, so a big leaders reunion kind of conference, kind of from the UK. We had a lot of external visitors, and actually a lot of how many? I think it was about 5 leaders actually came up to me and personally asked me, "Do I stay in touch with you, Leo, from the lockdown?" So people are still asking for you, Leo. So that's really cool. We've not got scores yet. Hopefully, not too far away. Just seemed that's the problem, isn't it? It's all about finding leaders and availability of leaders, and we're kind of just got enough to run the 3 sections. So I think it's going to be a problem everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like we were discussing. Retention of leaders is a sort of a bigger problem than recruitment of new young people.
Yeah.
Like young people are always going to seek out the adventure because their parents are going to be nostalgic about what they did and how they go forward. But the leaders don't tend to come as often.
No. Well, Beavers Cubs, they do. Scouts, I don't know anyone apart from myself that just came off the streets and.
Well, I mean, I was unemployed and looking for something to do with my time, and that's where I found my local district advertising and how I ended up in the movement. But yeah, I never was a scout as a kid because where I lived was like a black hole between 2 districts where a district had folded, and for whatever reason, neither of them decided to try and pick up the young people in the middle.
We have got Warpeed Squishy from Sheppey as well. How you doing? Cool. John Trotter's in the house. Have a great night. I'm off to leaders meeting. Nice. Awesome. Cool.
Is that like a leaders meeting or a leaders meeting in the pub?
It's a bit early for a pub, isn't it? For a leaders meeting in the pub, 6:45. I guess never too.
Play at chips. It's fine.
Yeah. Leo having to miss the scout camp this weekend for. Oh, nice. That's a shame. But there'll be more camps. But now we're kind of back to normal. Potty Apes in Surrey this weekend.
Have you been to Poly Apes?
No.
It's a nice little site.
Is it for us? I'm
It'd
going
be
to
good for a back
screenshot.
to basics camp.
Oh, but is it far for us?
No, it's like Cobham, I think.
Okay. Oh, that's not too far. Cobham's not too far. Popular event. Yeah, man. Honestly, people still remember you, Leo.
Let's get a Leo patch made.
A Leo patch. Yeah. No, it's great, and it's really pleased. And I was passing on the messages that we were talking about, that you're now back in Scouts, and lots of those leaders that were asking about you are really pleased that you're back in Scouts and staying in the movement. So, what a man, that's really good. Alfie's in the house. Hello. Cool. Lots of people. We're short on Cup leaders. Our group commissioner had to step in last year. It's really difficult. We just had last year, all the sections were all running nicely. We opened, madly enough, as you guys know, the 2 2 cubs, 2 scouts. And it was all kind of going nice. Unfortunately, things happened with the leaders in scouts. And then our cub leader, he pulled out because of his work commitments. So just as we were kind of getting there, that's life, though, isn't it? And it's a real shame, but life goes on, I guess. We're at Polyape. Is that how you said Polyapes last week?
Polyapes.
Oh, nice. It seems a popular Oxshort Nil Club. Well done. Look at that. I don't know. I've never heard of it. We were just before we came on air. We were just chatting about life and scouts and.
So we've not seen each other since before summer holidays.
No.
At this point now, no, it was leaders meeting before, but not really sat down and chatted.
But leaders meet. I was on such a tight.
Yeah, that was.
I had to be.
We had
out
like 20 minutes to plan a term,
and we did it. Leo saying, "Great to be back to normal now. Definitely different seeing it from the leader side of things, but enjoying it certainly. That's really good that you're enjoying it from leaders because it is.
It's different.
Me and as Ray was just saying, he's never a scout. I was never a scout, so I've never seen it from a youth point, but I can only imagine. But yeah, it being a leader is fun. And also can be really stressful. And at times you're like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But then you see a flip side. You see a lot of things.
You seem to get spoken to a lot like that it's almost like you're paid to fix the problems rather than you're here to provide your experience, your service.
And the other thing, Leo, is just remind people that you're a volunteer. You don't get paid. And even, we've been in the movement for years. I've always been in the scout group. Ray's moved around a few times. But people still see you, and parents still assume that you get paid. So I always remind them I get absolutely nothing. And that's what you should do as well here. Particularly when times get a bit stressful and parents can get a bit vocal. Maybe that's not the right word. But you got to just remind them,
demanding.
Yeah, it's probably a good word. Better word. You just got to remind them that we're volunteers. We all have work, we have our own family and other commitments, and this is just
I had one parent that's like, I emailed you at 11 o'clock, why didn't you reply till the evening? I'm like, because I'm at work, this isn't my job, this is almost like a pastime.
Oh, exactly, it's another hobby. But yeah, so Leo, one of my top advice is just remind everyone that you're a volunteer, and yeah, it's all good. Right, what was I talking about? Just before we came on air, we were just discussing things about scouts, and no major announcements in scouts this week. But I just completely changed the subject.
Oh, one show.
What? I was talking to one of the doctors at work today, and he went to see the Queen line and State, and he said it was amazing to see so many scouts. And he instantly thought of me, and he was trying to look for me, but I'm not a Queen Scout. And then he asked me, which I knew the answer. If you are a Queen Scout, currently a Queen Scout, will you be automatically transferred to be known as a King Scout?
I don't know that answer.
The answer is no. You're always going to be a Queen Scout.
I'd about to say, I think the sense of pride you would have been that you were a Queen Scout, and then the people that come afterwards are King Scouts, and then it'll be King Scout, and then whatever happens after George.
But I think in our generation, and this probably includes Leo, who's just turned a leader, we're never going to have another queen in our.
No, unless lots of
something happens.
Like a King Ralph level problem happens.
Wiped out. But yeah, no. But if you are working at the moment as a Queen Scout, you'll be automatically transferred to a King Scout. And we just got on and talking about how many amazing scouts and what they were doing. They started with 120 scouts, Queen Scouts. Then they expanded to 160 Queen Scouts.
So there was that American person, I think they were American or Canadian, that posted into First Facebook this week. So they didn't realise how important the Queen was to the UK scouting movement, and I thought that was a nice touching post.
I did see that. Been called Mr. Coach, sir. Been long enough in the asking for a job reference. The good old times come back. Yes, and that's how Jack, my assistant scout leader, he went off. We stayed in touch when he was at uni, and then came back, moved back to London. And I was desperate looking for leader help, and I just put something on Facebook, and his mum saw it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know what? I've been for all of it. Beaver Cop Scouts, Explorers, came back as a young leader and enjoyed it. And now I honestly thought he wouldn't stick around, knowing what Jack's like, but he is like, what are we into now, year 5 or something like that. Maybe not year 5, maybe year 4, something like that. And he's loving Scouts. It's really good. Next 3 generations of king, unless another steps away. Yeah, absolutely. And I think Queen Charlotte she is involved, but she's got.
Yeah, there'll be a few that I think should be 6 in the line. I don't know.
Yeah.
We were looking at the Ascension lines the other day because I was trying to work out where Mike Tyndall fitted into it. But as he married in, he doesn't count.
He won't never be a king. He can't. No. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a king in our lifetime. I was speaking to my leader about this. When I work towards my King Scout Award, I believe the current people doing their badge will now earn the King Scout Award instead of the Queen's. Absolutely. I had a feeling that if you're kind of more than 3/4 away, you can still be a Queen Scout and be a King Scout. But I might have just completely made it up. But definitely you'll be a King Scout.
I'd like to think you get offered the choice because it'd be quite sort of. You're either going to be the last of the Queen Scouts or the first of the King Scouts.
In fact, I know in 1983, because I did a vlog about this only the other day. In 1983, her name is Sue. I can't remember her name now. It's on my vlog, the recent vlog about the Queen being involved in Scouting. She's the last ever person in the whole UK to be both a King Scout and a Queen Scout. And she was awarded that back in 1983, just as the.
I say she was queen for a long time before 1983.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work out how that happened. But
I don't know how that happened, but it was. I got that from Scout News. So yeah. Leo saying no. I believe when you're a good way through, you can choose to be a queen. Yeah, absolutely cool. Right, back to what we were talking about. We're talking about Ray wants to get the memorial badge, the Queen patron badge,
but also the Jubilee badge because I missed out buying it earlier this year.
Exactly. So we went on all the Scout stores to see if there's any available. Scout UK is out of date. My favorite Glasgow Scout shop is out of date. And then we stumbled across the latest branding. The latest branding of what the Scouts are up to, what the Scout shop's up to. And it is just the most like random. So we got some nice badges. We kind of got bit of this, these random jute bags that I don't know anyone's going to pay for £10, but you just saw a sneak preview and just
something you could do with your Scouts, like screen printing.
Yeah, exactly. And then me and Ray stumbled across these new smiley facey. It's called the Smiley World Scouts. I just don't understand this new branding. It's all very bizarre, if you ask me.
It's like one of my young workers was telling me that with all the bucket hats coming in, that sort of 90s rave culture fashion is making a return, and hence the sort of smiley face elements. And
but like when you see like particularly these 3 smiley faces here, that just takes me back to the late 80s, 90s when Acid House was around.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something we should be promoting. I don't know, but and I did see a post on First Facebook about Scout merchandise. Like, what's the purpose of it? Are we just doing it just because, or are we doing it to raise revenue? Which is the answer. But are we keeping that still Scout brand? Are we keeping the same purpose of it?
Yeah, I mean that iScout brand. I like the hoodie, but then they changed it from being like a Gildan to like their own manufacturing process, and the quality all dropped and the sizing wasn't consistent.
Dan is saying back to the 90s rave scene. Exactly. Okay, here's a question from Mega. Is there any cheap ideas you guys have for a wet camp in case of an activity gets rained off for the ankle biters? So, man, there's like hundreds, but are we talking about an activity for indoors or outdoors? Because just because it's raining, we're waterproof. We can still go outside. And what do they say? That there's no such thing as a bad camp. It's bad.
No such thing as bad weather, just poor choices of clothing.
So you can buy waterproofs. Mega, expand on that a bit more. And we'll try and have a bit of a brainwave, and tell me a bit more indoors in the marquee. Okay, there's hundreds of games off the top of my head. I'm just thinking,
Deck of cards.
man, I could pick stuff up here. You can make things up. Double. You played the game Double.
Yeah.
You can you could do that playing regular Double, or you can make a scout version of Double, like using logos and tents and icon of marshmallows or something like that. So you could play Double. There's a whole lot of games that we play around the campfire.
You could do like a Trivial Pursuit game based on scouting knowledge. You could tie it into your what badges you're doing at that time. So if you plan ahead a bit, seeing that the weather's going to be potentially bad.
You could do some make your own campfire song, entertainment show. Someone does a bit of singing, bit of dancing, maybe tell a few jokes. Ian saying rain equals liquid sunshine.
You sound like our former county commissioner.
Oh dear. Leo saying, depending on space, Initiative Exercise, get them to order themselves shoe size, height, age, birthday without speaking. Human knot. Leo, you've been listening to me. Well done. Human knot, where they need to hold hands across the circle and untie. The thing about human knot, and this is my own personal thing, is I see a lot of stuff in the hospital where people get dislocated arms and stuff like that. So it can get a little bit messy. So personally, for me, I don't like playing the human knot for that reason.
I'm just thinking of the sound it's going to make when that goes back
in. Bathing salts, wet sponge. Yeah, exactly. We do have some space. Just play like, I don't know, mini wide games. You can play. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know.
Like a putter and a golf ball, and make up a little crazy golf course around the marquee.
One of the games that we play here at Scouts, apparently there's no one else in my district plays it, and now it's being spread out a bit more. It's called the peg game, where you get 10 pegs. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Just grabbing some 10 pegs. So this is the most random game, and I don't know where it came from. It was always played. So you get a whole lot of tent pegs, and you put them on the floor at different spaces. And what there might be like,
so a couple that are like literally a foot. Width.
So you might have it. So you can just get a foot, and then there's a big gap, and you put them in the long lines. So say there's 10 of them, and then they've got to run from that point to that end, but only 1 foot in the space. And if you touch the peg, knock it out, you're out. Or if you put 2 feet in this game, you could do that. Also, you've got things like you could do whittling, you could do some arts and craft, you could do some badge work. What we were doing at Scouts last week, we were making memorial lapels, learning the friendship knot. So you could do that. Maybe you could grab your necker, your scarf, and teach them how to make a friendship knot. Strawberry laces, it's always good to have a backup just in case.
Sweet campfires using chocolate spread, chocolate fingers, and
midget jams and twiglets. You can do edible campfires. We've done stuff like that. In fact, I've done a vlog about that when my kids done it about that before. One we did with the Cubs, they each get a job and get told a story about how they are stuck in a scenario. E.g., they are stuck on a desert island. They can only keep 8 people with different jobs. They need to come up with ideas for why they need to keep each job, but the story goes on each round. For example, they find out a doctor cannot speak English, so they may actually need a translator.
It reminds me of something I did.
This is a long one.
Back in the 80s, where it was based upon trying to get yourself into a nuclear shelter and what you can bring to humanity afterwards, based upon the sort of scenario card that you get given as to who you are. And
you could play just saying when you're saying toxic. You could play the toxic game. You know, when you have the canister or Billy can or Dixie can in the middle, and that's full of toxic guns or something, and then you got to get ropes and they've got to transfer it here.
Problem solving.
Yeah. So you can play like the mystery and the Crystal Maze games and stuff like that. Team building, 1 minute challenge or 1 minute challenges. We played that. We've done it. Yes, we've done the cube here a few times where you just have random stuff and they've got to roll a ball, and it's got you put a bit of tape on the table, like, and you've got to roll the ball, and it's got to land in that kind of gap. Who can take down a pyramid of cups?
I mean, I think there were a lot of things on social media from families doing games amongst themselves, like rolling the balls off the table to get them in the cups to win prizes and stuff.
Yeah. So you could do, actually, that's a good game. So you label the table.
You could do it as to like tasks. So washing up, bit of free time.
Yeah, I win a jar of sweets or something.
Yeah, some good, some bad.
Yeah, and who rolls the ball wherever it lands? Nice. Yes, the Trauma Tower. Absolutely, Tara. Loving the Trauma Tower. Time bomb. Yeah. That's the exact scenario it would work. Yeah. Find the biggest puzzle. See who can make the biggest. Harold, we're talking about indoors, but you could go outside and just who can find something in nature.
Scavenger hunt.
I was about to say scavenger hunt. Yeah. So they got to find something red or the
like
smallest
a
thing.
Who can get the most things in their matchbox
without
breaking the things to get them in the matchbox?
Yeah. Make a self-portrait using nature. It's about thinking outside the box, Mega. But watch back this vlog and then just write down our ideas. But that's just brainstorming, isn't it? Just speak to our other leaders and then start making a book.
It was my favorite section when I was on the facilitation team, was just watching when you give them like the A to Z challenge to come up with activities for everything. And it's just like, you get somebody else and you're like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, why has nobody done this before?
So what happened at the last district camping competition last year, or was it this year? I can't remember. Maybe this. It was this year. And it was a DC challenge. So the DC comes along and they have 1 hour. The scouts have to do whatever she says. We were trying to work out what the DC challenge would be. What would she pick? And she's a BB leader. So we were going arts and craft. Man, I wrote down everyone's suggestions on here. I've got probably, I don't know, but not 10 years worth of programs, but I've got a good random wet play kind of all those random stuff just from leaders going, oh, what about this idea? What about this idea? What about this idea?
I need to go back through my phone because I take pictures of everything at these sessions.
Yeah. But I remember a session I did with Ray. We were talking about A to Z, and we came up. We were going to do a superhero game, a superhero camp, and it was just stuff
Every
you can
time I see a Chelsea pensioner, I think of you and Dan.
Chelsea pensioner game. Well, talking about that. That's a good.
I saw a bugle up there. I thought you've been playing it recently.
So how you do A to Z? A to Z is about program planning, and either you're doing it over a badge or you're doing a camp, and you just try and think of every single thing that could be around that theme. So we're talking about superheroes. So we're talking about air. B could be about, I don't know, breathing. C, put me on the spot. Climate change. D, dragons or whatever. And then you try and work out from those words what you can actually do. So if you're I said air, you could maybe contact
indoor parachute center or
RAF
camps, or
can you go climbing, go up in the air? Who can camp the highest? So off the ground, there's a whole lot of things.
Do we still do that sky camper?
Yeah, that happened a few weeks ago. Ladders game from OSM youth. And now I'm thinking,
I think it's like fruit salad by the sounds of this, where you line them up and you give each line in the thing a fruit, and then you call out the fruits and they run back into the seat, and then you call fruit salad and everyone goes.
Yeah.
As to whether that's
I'm just thinking about, it was one of those urban myths that's banned from.
I like Bulldog.
Yeah. Which isn't actually banned.
You just need to.
But I'm sure Landers
make it safer.
I'm sure Landers is on that kind of health. I might be completely wrong. We have a huge scavenging hunt orienteering timetable in. But the other thing is, right, Mega, and this is really important. Everyone needs downtime. The leaders need downtime and the kids need downtime. So you don't always have to have an activity booked in all the time. Why don't you just let them just have some time in the marquee and just chit chat and just be silly?
So I used to like running a camp around the end of exams.
Yeah.
And just have nothing on the thing. And if kids want to go off and do things, we'll go off and do things. If they just want to sit around and relax, like this is when I was an explorer leader. So you sort of just give them a way to escape everything that they've been stressing and working towards, and then just go off and have a chill out time. Yeah,
it makes sense. And maybe Megan, that's something that you could incorporate in your camp is just letting them have a bit of downtime. If it's beavers and cubs, then keep that downtime a bit short. I know what my kids are like; they get bored after 10, 15 minutes, but just let them sit around in the marquee and just chat and give them a bit of hot chocolate and just talk about whatever. Or you know what? Sometimes they can entertain themselves. They can say a little funny joke.
It's
and
not
it goes
that
around.
bottle game.
Flip. Yeah. Based on Scout story. Yeah. It's the nippers getting bored and clingy. I'll worry about. Hang on 2 seconds. It's not COVID, don't worry. They'll never get bored. Clingy, I'll worry about. So I have some of those backup games that we were just bantering around. Like, this is just you putting me on the spot. When with Ray, we can come up with some ideas. So speak to your leaders, and I'm sure they'll have some backup ideas as well.
But you should just bring a deck of cards. You get that kid that doesn't want to go off and do the climbing wall or anything, and it's just okay. We'll just play a bit of Snap or something just to.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about what my kids like to do. Like, they're just like doodling and drawing funny things or writing stories or something. But making double, and they've got to make a story up.
It's like they got those story dice where each dice has different logos on them, and you got to like tell a story that incorporates all the logos you can roll.
Yeah. So you can do something like that. We get them to stand rather than make the ladder of beavers, cubs. We spread the gap. Okay, no, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I like that.
Say Harold's got a comment a bit earlier.
I thought the question was rainy day camp activities.
It's just in my experience, like a lot of the scout campsites turn into like Glastonbury,
Mudfest,
and the kids will literally skyline themselves down muddy hills.
I think somewhere it wasn't mentioned that it would be an indoor marquee somewhere. I think. Did I just make that up? Yes, there we go. So it was asking for indoors in the marquee. Ha! Brendan just came on before work. Hello from New Zealand. Hey, Brendan.
Hello.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see that you're tuning back in. Dave is saying Rory's story cubes are very good.
Yeah, so I was just
yeah. Also, I have a few card games and coloring pages they can color and stuff like that. My board and bag, I just take that long. Yeah, I don't know. Like, particularly my kids, you can go and print out some coloring. And they would spend ages coloring in and doodling, or maybe making their own thing. And maybe it could be scout related, and you can make a mural out of it. I don't know, like they all stick together, and you come back to the scout hall and you put them back on the wall, and it makes some sort of big picture.
Design a new group flag and stuff like that. It's always a good one.
So yeah, get some like old pillowcases. I'm pointing to somewhere up there. Yeah. And make some. Well, these are the scout ones. These are the patrol. So you can make for your own colony. They can make their own flag or something. I don't know, pillowcases and do some fabric pens and stuff like that.
Putty paint.
Yes, yeah,
like
exactly.
Back to the 80s.
Yeah. We're gonna go on a mudslide camp, definitely. I've sent you a doc about Google relating to nuclear disaster game I spoke about. Leo, thank you very much. Cool. So yeah, what have we got here? Sorry, Mr. Start. What is the conversation of choice in that? We have had a whole load of ones, Kit. As always, it's whatever pops into my head. We just talk about. We're talking about what's the new branding on the Scouts. At the moment, we had a question about getting some ideas for a indoor wet camp when things go a bit wrong. What can we play off the top of a cuff? So we're just discussing like just games that you can play that don't need a lot of planning in a marquee. So it doesn't have a lot of space. And we were just bashing out some of our random ideas and things that have worked in the past. So yeah, that's a very cute idea. Love that. Thanks, guys. I'm going to head off. Thanks very much. No, Mega. That's what we're here for. No problem at all. This is like the happy hour agony.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to call it.
Ask Mark and Ray.
Spaghetti knots. Yeah, we were talking about spaghetti knots. We mentioned about that. Well, ISIS strawberry laces.
Yeah.
It would be
edible
hard.
campfires.
It would hard doing knots with spaghetti, uncooked.
Practically impossible.
Maybe you should do that with Scouts, right? Here's some spaghetti.
You should
do some knots.
Get some of that fresh spaghetti, tie knots in it, and then put it in a dehydrator.
And then
it's-
whoop.
there you go, we can do it. So can you.
Yeah. Love it. Craig is saying we play Space Invaders. The scouts move left and right, making the noises and arm movements like the video game. And one scout shoots them with the beanbags.
Yeah.
Can we play that tonight?
We can have a go at playing that tonight.
Craig, just hang on too far. I'm just gonna. I love this. See, these are just ideas, and this is just us talking now.
So you're going to be in the office, the kitchen doing AGM stuff.
No, I'm gonna be up here. Scout parents. That's all I'm gonna say. Just got another email from a scout parent. You kind of like. Ah, dear. We got some smiley faces. Why are people?
Sad.
That's a sad. Why have we got some sad faces? Right, we get them to build shelters out of cooked and dried spaghetti. Works well. Shelters. Oops, beavers are being naughty. How do you build shelters with cooked?
Do you mean like little
sheets,
tabletop
or pasta sheets?
lasagna sheets?
No, but that's not spaghetti, is it? That's lasagna sheets, not spaghetti.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could do like an old-fashioned lean-to shelter.
Oh, with them coming down? Yeah,
or,
liking that one. Done strawberry laces earlier this term with scouts was great. Love how these float around, taking notes. It's just ideas. And as you can see, I've seen 3 new ideas tonight that I've just taken a quick photo. And that's what I think what we need to do more in scouts. When I started like 14 years ago, it was really closed. No one would share ideas. No one would share programs and stuff. And I think that's one of the reasons why I started Big Man in the Woods, is trying to share the knowledge that I've learned as a scout leader. So I don't think why we should be closed, and we should share these ideas and things that are going wrong and what we're struggling with and stuff. That's my rant.
Yep.
Right. Brendan's saying one of my old leaders had some dice with words on them. Get the scouts to roll them and then make up with all the words in it. Yeah. So that's
sounds like the Rory dice, just a different iteration of it.
Yeah. And that's Brendan's in New Zealand.
But also you can make it yourself more suitable to your group or
scout group.
or your activity.
So I did a vlog about this a couple of weeks ago with scout-related board games. You know how there's Monopoly.
There's probably a Scout Cluedo.
There is a Scout Cluedo and Scout Guess Who, and then people were submitting their ideas of what we could do as a Scout board game, and Double was quite common. People saying you could redo your own logos and stuff. So I like that.
So there's probably a PDF somewhere.
We can make
tiles.
One. Right, guys, we have got literally 2 minutes before we got to go. We've got to fresh up, get the brew. I've got to do a whole of the GSL stuff tonight for our AGM on Monday. So if you've got anything to say, we've got 2 minutes, and then Ray's running scouts tonight.
Play Space Invaders.
If I come down and every kid's like, I'm gonna Space Invaders. What's funny? Yeah.
Or breakdancing.
Good do. Yeah. Right. So I guess no one has got any questions for us. It's all good. Right. Well, I'm gonna say goodnight. I'm gonna go make a brew because my throat is hurting me, and I've got to go and do loads of admin.
You got your speech ready for Monday?
Speech ready. The DC has been on the phone already. She's been asking me what's going to happen. Okay, guys. So we'll be back next Thursday from 6 Thursday. I'll definitely be. I don't know if Ray will be it. Ray will be working.
Yeah.
Us two aliens on both sides of the pond. You're going to do it tonight as well, Ian?
Oh, we should sync up and do a live stream from each other's.
Ian, take some video and send it to me because I'd love to see you guys doing it and seeing how you do it differently to how Ray's going to do it at Scouts tonight.
Based upon just literally reading it off the screen and then going.
And then your interpretation of it. Yeah. We do have beanbags here as well. So I'm going to see how Ray runs it tonight.
I was going to go get the arrows.
Yeah, bone arrows.
Suction cups.
Dave's asking, what is your AGM speed record? How quickly can you do the formals? I don't know. As you know, I chat. I love to chat. And I was meant to do the last AGM within like 20 minutes and it went on for an hour. But that's because I like that.
So my most memorable AGM was a kid had crashed over in the playground outside because we put on some childcare so the parents can come. He'd split his face open on a corner of a wall.
Not what you want.
And I spent half my time because where we were on like an alleyway, so you got to go to either end of the alleyway, so that whichever end the ambulance turns up at,
It could be.
you can be guided in. So I spent most of my AGM out there until somebody comes out going, "They're calling your name to give you your wood badge."
No, Dave, I don't know. I don't keep a record, but I'll do it on Monday. I'll see how quick I can do
It's
it.
going to be like an auction.
How quick can I do it? Yeah. I have a scout game, much like Game of Life. Yeah. Game of Life actually was nominated as well. Alia, what sections do you lead, Ray, and how long have you been doing it for?
Well, I suppose I'm just now officially the scout leader here, but I have been involved since 2007, bar a little break that lasted just over lockdown. And in that time, I've done explorers, scouts, and beavers.
Yeah. So I managed to persuade Ray to take over scouts. I'm still going to be here every Thursday, but I just can't do GSL role and scout role as well. So Ray only came back because he was going to be just a little assisting role, not really getting involved, but not taking a major lead. And
a year later, here I am.
Thank you to WhatsApp and texting at the right time. It's all good. Picked up in London 20 years ago. Oh, the Cub Scout game. Yeah, cool. I had my first AGM as GSL. Good luck. Yeah. How long have I been GSL for? I've been GSL for like 5 years, 6 years or something. I've tried different ways of doing AGMs. We've had open days, which have been amazing. The open days have been brilliant, and that's what worked well. But this year is just a little bit different because people have been moving around a little bit. So we're going to try and get a bit more regular.
Everything's a bit in flux at the moment.
Yeah, because everyone getting back to face, and it'll be a different year. But next year, which I said last year, will be different. But it always changes. We might have to throw talks instead of beanbags.
What?
I'll explain.
Okay.
Brendan, I went to AGM once and it was over in 10 minutes. That is our target for Monday. Yeah, maybe 9.5. I try and break their records, but I do like, and there's always questions and parents want to know things and stuff. But again, it depends how many parents turn up.
So I don't finish work till 6:30, so I don't know what time I'm going to be able to get here.
Boom, even better. Right, guys, that is it. The noise from the beavers means it's the end, and we have got to go. Have a great week, guys. We'll be here. Well, I'll be back here Thursday.
I don't know when.
7:30. Yes.
Okay.
I was going to show you it, but you spoiled it, Ian. It's a type of hat. No, it's a type of hat, but it's in particular beanie, only because Ian sent me his group. Well, it was a district.
Is it like a Scottish?
It's Canadian. It's a beanie. It's just a beanie.
Okay.
But it was a branded Canadian. I love it. And it will be coming out in a few weeks' time because now London's getting a bit.
Tim Hortons or?
No, it's their scout group.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, right, guys. For about the millionth time. Yeah, group one. Yeah, exactly. So it's a brilliant one. Maybe we should do some here. Don't know.
8 feeding bubbles, bro.
Nice. All right, guys, as I say, for the millionth time, I will be back next week. Have a great one. Thank you.
You can use all your things for next week.
Yeah.